Hello students, I again welcome you all in this switchgear and protection lecture series, and we are all aware that we are discussing about this unit number 1, that is arc phenomena and interruption theory. So this is lecture number 5, and before proceeding for lecture number 5, let me summarize what we actually covered in the last lecture. We mainly discuss about the factors which are affecting on transient recovery voltages. Okay, so that means the initiation of TRV. There are several factors which are responsible, like the inductance and capacitance, which are responsible for presence of transient inside the circuit breaker. Likewise, any fault which occur near to bus also, that will also going to affect the transient recovery voltages. Also, the insulation coordination of the circuit breaker mainly also affected with this transient recovery voltage. Later on, we discuss about the rate of rise of recovery voltage. Okay, and this rate of rise of recovery voltage, that is a term, or we call as the restriking voltage also. Um, that is generally appear at the time of transient recovery voltage. Based on that, we have also derived the formula for calculation of rate of rise of recovery voltage. So we also discussed the mathematical modeling for for derivation for rate of rise of recovery voltage. And based on this mathematical derivation, we also discuss several numericals based on this rate of rise of recovery voltage. Now, in continuation with this TRV, since we discuss only about this TRV, what basically this TRV is this, and how these are been appear inside the circuit breaker. We have to also see that there are several variations in the TRV also, because since this portion is not in your syllabus, but as a design perspective, whenever we are designing any circuit breaker, then we require to do the analysis of the TRVs, and based on the TRV analysis, then we can design the parameters of the circuit breaker. So there are several types of TRV wave shapes. So these TRV voltages mainly you can find across the any circuit breaker, and they have a certain typical shapes. That means this will not remain common for all types of faults, but it will going to vary from type of faults and where this fault usually been occurs. So we here we classify these wave shapes into three types. One is the called as the one cosine wave shape, and generally this type of wave shape of TRV is observed in case of transformer fade or reactor fade faults. Okay, so what actually mean by transformer fade faults, that means the fault which is been initiated from the transformer side or reactor side. So such kind of faults usually you observe the TRV shape is of one cosine waveform. Another type of this wave shape is the exponential cosine, and usually this type of wave shape you can observe when transformer fed faults on breaker terminals with transmission lines connected on the incoming side of the circuit breaker. So such arrangement is there in the system, then you can observe this kind of wave shape of the TRV. Another type of TRV is the triangular or called as the sawtooth wave shape, and usually this kind of wave shape you can find on line side where short transmission lines are connected. Okay. And also one more type is the initial TRV, and usually this initial TRV observed when bus work of substation is involved. So these are the categories, these are the types of the wave shapes you can observe in the circuit breakers depending on the type of faults. Now let us see how this wave shapes looks like. So here we are this first wave shape, that is one cosine TRV. So this is the wave shape. If you do the analysis of this, then you can obtain this kind of wave shape with reference to time. So this is the transient recovery voltage versus the time. And if you can plot this particular graph, then it looks like an this one cosine TRV waveform. Another type of waveform is called as the exponential TRV waveform. So here it is very similar to one cosine waveform because it is a part of one cosine exponential TRV waveform. but the lateral part of that particular line will be in the form of exponential in nature. Another type of wave shape is the triangular TRV or sawtooth TRV. So here the shape of that TRV looks like that, which is somewhat very dangerous to the circuit breaker because it has a very high peak magnitude of the voltage, and it may going to destroy the internal mechanism of the circuit breaker. Now, how we can actually calculate this TRV wave shapes? Again, I remind you that this is not actually the portion of your syllabus, but from the analysis perspective, I just include this particular portion in order to find out this TRV wave shapes. So in order to calculate these TRV wave shapes, we require to first study the systems, which type of system we have, and we require to approximately reduce that particular system into a subsystems. So here this TRV can be analyzed by drawing detailed system diagram, and then you require to reduce this system diagram in order to obtain an equivalent circuit which is across the circuit breaker. Now, generally, it was observed that system can be reduced to a series or parallel RLC circuits. So, whatever the system we have, power system we have, we can able to reduce that particular system into series or parallel RLC circuit. And these RLC equivalent RLC circuit, we further going to solve for the particular TRV. Now we are showing one example that how we are going to reduce this, how we can reduce this circuit, uh, uh, and further how we can carry out this particular calculation of the TRV. Now first what we will going to do here, the system, we first draw the system as a single line diagram, and afterward this single phase RLC parallel equivalent is obtained at the breaker terminal. So in order to obtain this TRV, it is assumed that we are assuming, because since we are doing all this calculation offline, without any without any circuit breaker operation. So here what we are going to observe, because we want to analyze the TRV. TRV generally happens when there is any fault occurs on the system and that is been accessed by the your circuit breaker. But for a for building the mathematical modulations, see here we are taking the theoretical circuit breakers, and here we assume that we require to inject a short circuit current in the breaker terminal, and we obtain this solution for voltage across the elements, which we also call as the transient recovery voltage. Now what we mention here, how we can reduce a diagram, system diagram. Suppose this is our system we have, this is our actual system, and we are representing this particular system into a single line diagram. Okay, so this is a single line diagram, these are the transmissions we have, and these are the breakers. Square bracket shows the breakers we have, and this is the bus we have. Okay, and here we have the n number of transmission lines connected to the particular buses. Then this is A represents your circuit breakers we have, and if any kind of fault occurs here, okay, near the circuit breakers, then how we can reduce this particular diagram? We are reducing this particular diagram into its equivalents, either series or parallel RLC circuit. So here we are representing these particular lines. Since all these particular lines, they includes the resistance and reactance, and if it is a long distance transmission line, then capacitance effect is also there. It means that all this series resistance, inductance and capacitance, they are in parallel. Okay, so we are representing this equivalent circuit like way. This is the inductance we have, the equivalent inductance of a particular system. Then we have the impedance we have, equivalent impedance we have, and we have the equivalent capacitance of the particular circuit. Okay, and if we are representing a fault which is occur, just like in a switch we have here we are showing, and you will observe when any fault occurs, then the voltage is developed across the circuit breaker, the terminals of the circuit breaker. So this is an equivalent RLC network of this particular single line diagram. This is one line, single line diagram. Now if you draw for the three phase systems, so three phase diagram, then how we can draw this three phase diagram? This is your three phases we have, and for each phases we have this particular equivalent equivalent impedance is there, then equivalence inductance is there, and equivalent capacitance is there. So here we are representing in that fashion for the three-phase circuit, and if any fault occurs there, then whatever the voltage which appear across the terminal of the circuit breaker, that we are representing by VCB. Now, how we can calculate these TRV wave shapes? That is, the first one is your one cosine or oscillatory or underdamped TRV. And usually we already mentioned this can be obtained in case of transformer or reactor fed fault, or any fault which is fed from the transformer or reactor. That time you can obtain this particular wave shape. So this kind of TRV wave shape can also be obtained with transformer fed fault on a bus with small number of transmission line connected to it. Okay. In that case also you can obtain this oscillatory or underdamped or one cosine TRV. So here we can use this particular system, what we have shown in the earlier diagram, and we can obtain some resultant equations after analysis, and that we are representing here. So here this is the equation we obtained, that is the voltage across the circuit breaker, that will be equal to E1, okay, that is the source you have, into 1 minus e minus raised to power minus alpha t into cos h beta t plus alpha divided by beta sin h beta t in terms of kV. Okay, so this is the general equation we can get from the circuit which we earlier been visualized, that how we can convert that circuit into a single line series or parallel RLC circuit. So here what we mention here, that is the VCB is the voltage across the open circuit breaker. Your E1 is basically represented by, or it will be calculated as square root 2 I omega L equivalent. Here omega is the system frequency, alpha is the 1 by 2 Z equivalent C equivalent, and beta is square root of alpha square minus 1 by L equivalent C equivalent, where Z equivalent is the equivalent impedance in ohm, L equivalent is the equivalent inductance in ohm, and C equivalent is the equivalent capacitance in farads. Now, in that case, suppose we obtain this particular equation, generalized equation of this particular one line diagram. Now you can consider some situations here. If there are no lines are connected, in that case, if there is no any line is there, then R plus Jx of that transmission line, basically the impedance what we call as, that we can able to neglect here. Okay. So therefore, this particular equation one further reduces if we are going to neglect the resistance effect, because we are considering here that there is no any transmission line connected to the transformer or the reactors, then what equation you can obtain here, VCB equal to E1 1 minus cos into T square root divided by square root L equivalent C equivalent in kilo ohm. So this is the equation that you obtain when there is no transmission line present in the system. Now what is the condition for getting this TRV to be oscillatory? The condition should be equal to equivalent impedance. It should be greater than or equal to zero point 0.5 square root L equivalent divided by C equivalent. This is the condition for TRV to be oscillatory in nature, and that way you can obtain this particular one cosine waveform here. Okay, so this is a simple derivation or a small derivation here, that how we can able to find out the particular wave shape, TRV wave shape, by considering the system. Now next shape is your exponential TRV or one cosine exponential TRV. So this wave shape again it is obtained when a circuit breaker at a bus having a large number of transmission line, and they will going to interrupt a fault at its terminal, and in that case you will obtain this particular exponential TRV. Mind well, when we are considering the large number of transmission line, then it includes the is resistance of the transmission line, reactance of the transmission line, as well as capacitance effect in the transmission lines. So this particular wave shape can obtain is seen on the bus side of the circuit breaker, and this wave shape we also call as overdamped TRV. Earlier TRV is the underdamped TRV, and this particular wave shape we call as the overdamped TRV. And again, we are using the same system for analysis purpose, which we have shown in the earlier diagram. And for many system, resistance in equivalent circuit is basically we consider as the surge impedance of the line. So surge impedance of the line means it is called as the loading of that particular transmission line. Okay, and that is generally been calculated by square root L by C. That is called as the surge impedance loading of the line. Mind well that all the transmission lines which are actually working on the system, they are being loaded up to its surge impedance loading. Now here, uh, hence here in this case, in this particular wave shaft, we what we generally do, since all these transmission lines they are been ended to the particular bus, then uh, we are actually neglecting the effect of capacitance of this particular circuit. And furthermore, this particular equation which we earlier shown in the equation number 1 will be reduced to, that is voltage across the circuit breaker equal to E1 into 1 minus E raised to power minus T by tau kV, where tau is the ratio of equivalent inductance to equivalent impedance into S. Now again, if you can consider for TRV to be exponential, then in that case the condition will be Z equivalent should be less than or equal to 0.5 square root L equivalent divided by C equivalent. So this way we can able to calculate the TRV wave shape for the particular system, and it will be a overdamped wave shape we have. Now third one is the triangular or sawtooth type of TRV. So this generally been occur this when this you will obtain this particular TRV when any fault, when a fault is at a shorter distance from the circuit breaker on the transmission line, which and it is interrupted, it results in a triangular TRV on the line side of the circuit breaker. And it should, and it is this sawtooth TRV is been characterized by the high rate of rise of recovery voltage. So usually this TRV, triangular or sawtooth TRV, you can generally be observed when we try to interrupt the fault current in the circuit breaker inside where the circuit breaker is been connected to at a very shorter distance from the fault. You mind well that whenever any fault which is occur near to circuit breaker, it means that that is a shorter distance, and you know that these faults start traveling, and initially the magnitude of the fault current is very high, and if it is at a very shorter distance, then that magnitude is very high. And if suppose if any fault which is occur away from the away from the circuit breaker, then the fault magnitude at the circuit breaker will be somewhat lower, because the distance which is traveled by the fault current, that basically includes the transmission lines, which includes the impedance. And that way it means that there is some large resistance is present, which will going to reduce the current. So definitely in the inside the circuit breaker, if fault occur away from the circuit breaker, then fault which is coming inside the circuit breaker is lesser as compared to the fault which occur near to the circuit breaker. So here sawtooth TRV is characterized by with a very high rate of rise of recovery voltage. And this is somewhat I already mentioned, this will be a very dangerous situation if you obtain this particular TRV wave shape, which we are showing like a triangular wave shape or sawtooth wave shape, which have a very larger magnitude, okay, and that is decaying it very fastly. So this will going to damage your circuit breaker because it is a very high rate of rise of recovery voltage, even though this particular transient recovery voltage is less, because the magnitude involved in that. So the analysis of this TRV, which is based on the traveling wave on the transmission line, just we have discussed here. So how we can calculate this particular type of TRV? So TRV across the circuit breaker we generally represented by VCB equal to VL plus VS. Okay. So here VL is the line voltage we have, and VS is the system voltage we have. So that is the summation of these two voltages is nothing but it is the voltage which appear across the circuit breaker. Now this particular quantity VL and VS, VL generally been represented by the equation that is equal to D into 1 minus M square root 2 by 3 E max, whereas Vs equal to twice M into TL minus TD. Okay, where this TD represents the time delay of TRV on source side. TL is also from this TL we can able to find out TL equal to VL by RL, that is time to peak. RL equal to square root 2 omega L Z. IL is your fault current, and Z is the surge impedance loading of that particular transmission line. When M, what we have mentioned here, M is the ratio of fault current to rated short circuit current, whereas the Emax is the rated maximum voltage in kV. So this way we can find out this particular TRV across the circuit breaker. Now next one is rating important for TRV. So rating which are very important from the point of view of transient recovery voltages, that totally depends on the voltage level it is used and for what application you are using this particular where you can obtain this particular TRV. In addition to that, the peak of the recovery voltage, there also you can observe the rating of this rating is important of that particular circuit breaker. So here what we basically referred as, what is the ratings that we are referred as, that is peak TRV in kV. See that whenever you are designing any circuit breaker, then these parameters, these ratings are very very important in order to design a circuit breaker for a particular application, okay, or for a particular say kind of faults you have. So you require to calculate peak TRV in kilovolt, also time to peak of TRV in microsecond, and what is the rate of rise of recovery voltage. So these three ratings are very very important in order to design a circuit breaker. Now in order to calculate the various possible applications, the standard specifies three different TRV characteristics, which is basically the I cosine waveform, exponential cosine TRV waveform, and triangular TRV waveform. So these analyses need to be do in order to design a circuit breaker or in order to measure the performance of a circuit breaker. Now these waveform which we have just listed here are obtained for different applications, and they are also depend on the rated maximum operating voltage. So here TRV capability, that is transient recovery voltage capability of a circuit breaker, is required to increase as the short circuit current reduces, as the TRV depends on the short circuit level of the system. So what is the capability of a circuit breaker? The, that way they will going to withstand mechanically also, that totally depend on what kind of short circuit current it has inside it. So we require to improve the TRV capability of a circuit breaker, and that totally depends on what should be the short circuit level of the system. So what is the maximum short circuit current it is basically handling by your circuit breaker. So system conditions and groundings of the systems are very important for TRV ratings to be important. That okay. So what should be the system conditions and what is the grounding solutions you have? If you have a properly groundings, then you can able to reduce the TRV effect inside the circuit breakers. Now next is what is the effect of TRV on circuit breakers. So this you we will observe here that this TRV, that is the transient recovery voltage of is on the system for a very short duration of time, and but the magnitude of the TRV is very very high. So this will going to deteriorate the effect of the devices in the systems. Okay. So what basically going to happen inside the circuit breaker if we are not able to resolve this transient recovery voltage within time. So first one is the insulation failure. That means your TRV is voltage which appear across the circuit breaker on the system, and when we try to interrupt the current, which is somewhat very dangerous when short circuits are being interrupted. Okay. So you cannot interrupt the short circuit immediately because it carries the huge amount of energy also. And that way it will going to affect the mechanical insulation present inside the circuit breaker. So it will going to cause the insulation of the circuit breaker to be stressed, and if it, and it will there is a possibility that insulation failure may occur inside the circuit breaker. Now, one of the classical example of this breakdown of insulations are external flashover between phase and ground, or between a phase and another phase. These are the examples that representing that TRV mainly affecting on the insulation of the circuit breaker. Also, TRV causes the air around to be stressed because transient recovery voltage, it is basically carries the energy, and this will going to heat up the air in the atmosphere inside the circuit breaker, and that way it will be stressed and to a higher level, thus there is a possibility of the breakdown also. Second effect on of TRV on circuit breaker is the reignition and restrikes. So whenever we try to interrupt the fault current inside the circuit breakers, there you observe the arcing in the interrupting mediums. Okay, generally we try to interrupt the fault current at natural current zero. But if suppose you want to interrupt the fault current before natural current zero, then there is an arcing you can observe in the interrupting medium. So during the process of this interruption, this arcing medium is trying to regain its interrupt insulation properties. And for the interruption to be successful, the interrupting medium, or whatever the medium which we are using, like vacuum or sulfur hexafluoride gas or oil or air brake or air blast, it should withstand these fast rising recovery voltages. So thus there is a race in the interrupting medium to go from conducting state to the insulating state. And if with this TRV, if this rate of rise of TRV is more than the speed with which the medium returns to the insulating stage, that is called at the dielectric strength of the medium, then the arcing medium breakdown causing current to continue to flow in the circuit breaker. It means that if the TRV rate of rise of TRV is greater than how your medium will be regain the insulating properties, then in that case this particular continue will continue to flow inside the circuit breaker. Now vice versa situation is that if speed of the medium, that is the insulating medium, is higher, then in that case you can able to or successfully interrupt the fault current. So this process of establishment of current we also call as the reignition, and it also refers reignition of arc inside the circuit breaker. Now finally let's see what are the standard values of TRV for different circuit breakers which are used in the switch yards or in the power systems. So here we are showing the standard values of transient recovery voltages for circuit breakers, and that in terms of the and rated voltage equal to or higher than 12 kV and less than 100 kV. And here what we mention here, that is the what is the rated voltage which we are representing by UR in kV, and what type of test duties we have. Okay, there are different types of test duties inside for the circuit breaker. Now first pole to clear factor that we already discussed, what is that factor when the system is been grounded or fault is been grounded, and when the system is grounded but fault is not grounded, then you can observe here first pole to clear factor a different one. Then what is the amplitude factor of the TRV? Okay, then TRV peak value, then time to reach the TRV, and what is the rate of rise of recovery voltage. So here the particular circuit breaker is having the rating of 12 kV, where you are using the type of test duty is terminal fault. Then in that case the first pole to clear factor is 1.5, amplitude factor is 1.4, TRV peak value will be 22.6, and time to reach to particular TRV is the 26.2 microsecond. And in that case, you can able to calculate this particular rate of rise of recovery voltage, which is the ratio of this TRV peak value to the time to reach this particular TRV. Based on that, you can observe here the rate of rise of recovery voltage is 0.85 kV per microsecond. Likewise, for second type of test duty, we have the short line fault is there, where first pole to clear fault is 1, where the fault is been grounded, and here the amplitude is remains same, just what we observed in the previous case, and TRV in that case is reduces to 15, and time to reach this TRV is again the similar same time, 26.5 microsecond, and in that case the rate of rise of recovery voltage is 0.57. That's why we mentioned that grounding system grounding is definitely going to affect on the TRV. So this way, for the different rating of the circuit breakers, just we mention here is the for 12 kV circuit breaker. For similarly for 36 kV and 72.5 kV circuit breaker, you can observe the different values of this TRV as well as rate of rise of recovery voltage. So this is all about what is basically this transient recovery voltage wave shapes, how it can be calculated mathematically, what is the effect of TRV on circuit breakers, and what are the different standards values which are being prescribed after doing the analysis of the TRV, which we have all this we are presented in this lecture. So with this, thank you so much. This is about the TRV, and the next lecture we will discuss about the current chopping.